close officials across the nation respond to thousands of boating accidents every year. Stay safe this summer with these boating safety tips. WochitOn warm days in the village of Aurora, a young Matt Bianconi would grab a pair of goggles and a snorkel and step outside his family's lakefront home, climbing into the boat his parents built back when they were dating, and tossing toys into the contraption his engineer father built to tow them. With roots deeply entrenched in the banks of Cayuga Lake, Bianconi's grandfather arrived in 1910. The Aurora resident grew up on the water. He spent summers hovering in the shallows looking for cool rocks and artifacts, joining the rest of the village kids at the Wells College dock and spending so much time out on the lake that it was kind of like our babysitter out there. Matt Bianconi in a canvas kayak built by his father, Lou Bianconi. Lou Bianconi built about 10 boats, his son said. Photo provided. More. NY State Trooper death. Nicholas Clark's athletic legacy carried into police career. Bianconi and his family are lake people, a fitting term for many families across the southern tier. About 9,200 people in Broome, Chemung and Tompkins counties are registered boat owners, whose love for being on the water began before they rented their first boat. Matt Bianconi and his siblings, Tom, Steve and Mary Beth, on snowmobiles in their yard overlooking Cayuga Lake. Photo provided. If you've never been out on the water, or if you're bringing your kids for the first time this summer, here are some ways to make the most of your experience, as told by the lifers. Bonding in balance, whether with a group of friends or the whole extended family, getting out on the boat brings people together. Logan McDonald's family has been spending summers at Cayuga Lake since he was a child. Photo provided. Perhaps that's why Logan McDonald recalls being known as much for his family's name as for their house on Cayuga Lake. More on the McDonald's. Binghamton man, 61, was life of the party. Boating and being on the lake has always been a part of my family, he said. People have known us as lake people. Logan McDonald's family has been spending summers at Cayuga Lake since he was a child. Photo provided. They rented for years until they settled on the house they eventually bought on the modest lake in the southeastern corner of Broome County. More. JC woman, 97, was faith-filled mother of 7 with terrific sense of humor. Logan McDonald's family has been spending summers at Cayuga Lake since he was a child. Photo provided. As a teenager, McDonald remembers his summer mornings, I'll beginning the same way, a round of phone calls just after breakfast, to see who was water skiing and tubing with them that day on the Starcraft Next R210. By 10 a.m., they were on the water. Logan McDonald's family has been spending summers at Cayuga Lake since he was a child. Photo provided. For several hours McDonald and his friends would practice tubing moves they'd developed to the point they were certain they could compete in extreme sports. They jumped over each other, barrel rolled and looped until someone called them off the water for a lunchtime barbecue. Autoplay show thumbnails show caption /slide next slide. It was an interlude punctuated with an assortment of yard games, like volleyball, lawn darts and basketball, ending with some time on the dock and swimming in the lake before dinner and later on, lakeside campfires. Logan McDonald's family has been spending summers at Cayuga Lake since he was a child. Photo provided. As inundated as the world is with all manner of electronic entertainment, getting out on the water can help stimulate creativity, a sense of adventure and a healthy balance to offset life in front of a screen. Logan McDonald's family has been spending summers at Cayuga Lake since he was a child. Photo provided. As everyone got older, Logan's father traded in the 400-horsepower boat for a Starcraft SLS 5 pontoon boat. It fit our needs since we were more using the boats to cruise around than tubing or skiing, he said. Logan McDonald's family has been spending summers at Cayuga Lake since he was a child. Photo provided. While the activities may have changed, the drive getting out on the water has never left McDonald. Responsibility and work ethic. It wasn't until Mark Samiel left for college at State University of New York at Oneonta that he realized how much of a role the lake played in his life. I didn't notice until then how much the water meant to me, he said. I realized how important the lake was to my well-being. Seneca Lake. Photo. Simon Wheeler, Ithaca Journal. He remembers those summer days of his childhood, when he'd walk along the waterfront in Watkins Glen and skip rocks into Seneca Lake, waiting for his father and crew to bring their sightseeing vessel back to shore. more. Wedded 70 years, here are their 4 tips for a lasting marriage. As a child he fished. As a teenager he helped with a business. Today he runs it, and he still lives on the lake. The south end of Seneca Lake, at Watkins Glen. File photo. I grew up on the lake with my dad, he said, on his hip in the boating business. His father had purchased the vessel in 1963 when Samuel was 4, and since then it's blossomed into wine. For one reason or another, Samuel's there at the waterfront every day, even in the middle of winter. While the tourists and visitors he's met through the business all seem to enjoy the peacefulness of the lake, having a boat requires dedicated upkeep and a work ethic instilled by the generations before him. We live and breathe it every day, he said. There's something about being on the water, being on the lake, it's unique. Imagination and creativity. At lunchtime, when Bianconi takes a group of people out on his 27-foot pontoon boat, he treats them to a history lesson on the village of Aurora and Cayuga Lake. Wells College, for instance, which is situated about 1 mile from the house where Bianconi grew up, gets its name from Henry Wells, co-founder of Wells Fargo. There's a piece of that here. I try to get people's imagination sparked. Logan McDonald's family has been spending summers at Cayuga Lake since he was a child. Photo provided. Until a few years ago, Bianconi had been living in Boston. When the house next door to where he grew up went up for sale, Bianconi and his girlfriend, Alexis Boyce, relocated to Aurora and started working as facilities manager at the inns of Aurora. Every spring I'd say, "You guys need a boat," Bianconi said. Matt Bianconi is an Aurora native who grew up on Cayuga Lake. Photo provided. 2 years ago, he launched Bianconi Tours with thrice daily cruises at Cayuga Lake. Flooding back with the move home came memories of a childhood without a nearby mall or movie theater for entertainment. When Bianconi and his friends had to create their own fun, they built forts, scoured the lake for neat rocks, and met up at the Wells College dock to swim. Matt Bianconi with his sister, Mary Beth, on a piece of an old boathouse foundation at their lake shore in Aurora. Photo provided. Looking back now, I really appreciate the imagination and creativity that came from living in a place like this, he said. Logan McDonald's family has been spending summers at Cayuga Lake since he was a child. Photo provided. Here's how to get your kids involved, no matter their age, according to boaterkids.com. Cleaning. Even if your little ones are too young to wash the boat's exterior, they can grab a cloth, wipe down the interior. Assisting. Did you bring a cooler on board? Put someone in charge of counting to make sure there are enough water bottles. Someone else can carry gear or help pack it. Navigating, primarily for older kids, but young ones can keep an eye out for buoys or channel markers as well. Follow Katie Sullivan Borelli on Twitter at @BikeTSullivan. Read or share this story, https://press.sn/2zeta.